This is Cedar Mountain on Legendary difficulty. The enemy is going to have 22,000, I have 16,000, and we end up killing 16,000, almost 17,000, and lose 2,200 with medicine. It's about 7.3 to 1. I have not figured out the school solution for this location. The enemy is in really good terrain, and all I have is I'm going to take up good defensive positions and try to bait the enemy into attacking me until he's weak. That's all I got. There are a couple really good positions here. I don't see a good way to attack his position without taking just horrible losses. He has a lot of good artillery. He has, yeah, and I'm coming in here with 24-pound howitzers. I'm going to use cover to my advantage. I see his skirmisher unit. He has skirmishers. So I'm going to take some shots at him. He gets into the woods way before I get there. That kind of wasn't the plan, but that's going to work out. We're gonna be fine. Because I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, a 24-pound howitzer over there. We're going to drive him out of the woods, set up a defensive line, try to get him to attack. I'm going to try to bait him into attacking into this river. It's the south line. I just don't see any way at all to attack that incredible defensive position. This is the reverse of a map that you play as the Union, and I've never defended this right part where the victory location is and the right. But boy, is it really good. That is such a good defensive line. Yeah, I'm just looking at that, and I know he's going to have yeah, his units are all going to be over 2,000, and my units are coming in here 1,400, and so we're going to have to chip away at him gradually, and I just don't see any way that 16,000 men is going to attack that position defended by 22,000. I'm looking at, he has 2-star units. I'm expecting him to have 3-star units in there, and with Harper's Ferries, and I just don't see it. So yeah, we're going to go cautiously and take our time. We have until 1930, and I intend to use all of it. I intend to use my 24-pound howitzers, try not to get them killed in the process. 24-pound howitzers, and yeah. Just chip away at this guy and hope he makes mistakes like he's making right now, walking in the water. And my detached skirmishers are going to take a shot on him. Try to get him to shoot at my detached skirmishers and not at my infantry. And it pretty much works. Pretty much works. So I like to do this. You'll notice I have 3 infantry and an artillery back, so the detached skirmishers go up, he goes after the detached skirmishers. Now my infantry and artillery will take shots at him. Yeah, him charging out of the woods was a huge mistake. He would have done a lot better staying in the woods. Now this guy is in the woods, and I'm going to drive him out, and I'm not against getting him into melee. I'd rather not just stand there and exchange shots with that guy. So I'm going to get him into melee in just a little bit. And then our goal is just to occupy the woods on the left and roll the artillery up, and hopefully he'll attack. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm staying back because those guys that are in that little clump of trees, I'm waiting for them to make a mistake. If they charge forward, if they stay where they are, they're fine. But if they charge forward into water, that'll be great. And I'm kind of hoping that guy that's moving to the left, he just keeps going until he's in the open. I'm going to put 2 units on the right and see if they can't stir something up over there. Okay, his right flank collapsing means I can move forward, and okay, he does charge into the open. That's exactly what I want him to do. Now everybody can charge forward and hit this guy in the open, that'll break him. And yeah, and this other guy, I wanted him to move into the water, and he did. He moved into the water a little bit. The guy we got into melee, he has been kicked out. He's routing. So now 2 of his units are routing. I can get some shots on his artillery. Yeah, all that went very well. We drove him out of the woods. Phase 1, pretty much done. Roll the artillery up, 24-pound howitzers. And not only did we take that clump of woods, but the little clump of woods now just to the right, we can take that too, because he's standing in the water. He's not going to be able to take that. So he's charging with another unit. That's great. We're going to shoot him up too. He's going to not be happy standing where he is. And if I can catch both of these units of 2100, get them to stop in the water, we can rout those guys too pretty easily. Now there's a 24-pound howitzer on my left, and there's a 24-pound howitzer kind of with the right group. Oh, we're going to catch his cav. I don't want his cav to get me into melee, and he will do that, I think. So detach skirmishers, put a shot on him, convince him to go back, maybe get a couple more shots on him as he retreats. So we need to shoot him up like that about 6 more times, and that'll be over. Okay, his units are still around 2,000. Some of them are down to maybe 1,600, 1,500. So he came out of that pretty shot up. So I want to move my units around a little bit on my left. Hopefully get him to counterattack there. I'd like for him to counterattack aggressively. This is legendary. And in the area on my right, keep getting him to attack into the water. So I'm going to back off and see if I can't get him to attack forward. So I think I killed his artillery. I don't know. I don't know if I killed his artillery or just really damaged it that was on the right. I think he was just damaged. I don't think we killed it. So yeah, I can see now another artillery battery in the middle of the woods. And I have no idea where he's moving people all over the place, and I have no idea where he's going. So I'm just taking a pause, seeing what he's going to do next, because I have no clever way to go up and take that flag. So he attacks. I have 2 detached skirmishers here. I get the skirmishers and the infantry to fire. Really want to take shots on his cav. And he goes back about 100 more casualties. So 5 more times. He does that 5 more times, he's dead. So more units charging into the water. So all that is going really well. Really happy with that. Yeah, the guy on the right side is flashing white, so we're just going to harvest some kills on him. I don't want to come out of the woods. I think that is a mistake. I really want to kill his commander. His commander's in the water. I pulled up my 10-pound parrot. My 10-pound parrot is commanded by a very good general, but I don't think that the command line is still as good as the efficiency line. That was my forest cav. But anyway, we got shots. I had everybody shoot at the general, and the general's dead. He has 1 more. His ability to recover in about a second and a half after routing, we need to take that away. And so, yeah, I'm looking at his units are now, they've gone from, I don't know, mid-2000s to now 1,500, some of them 1,700. His cav is coming in again. Looks like 500. As I edit this, it's pretty blurry. But now he's down to 4 something, so 4 more times and he's dead. That's great, and we want him to keep doing that. So he's decided he's going to charge again. And this is exactly what we want. Just keep charging. And my artillery, it's 1440. So in the time it takes me to grind this guy down, my 10-pound parrot should kill one of these batteries with any luck. That's my calculation. So my infantry is going to have to kill the other, but I think he actually has 3 batteries at this point. So good, his Cav is having another go. Too bad, he thought better of it. So yeah, we routed both of those. So I haven't moved my artillery up on the left because I'm planning that if he counterattacks hard there, we're going to fall back to the wood line. I would really like to lure him into an attack there. And I just fall back to the wood line and he charges into that open area and takes canister to the face. Yeah, I'm having these guys fall back because I don't want them to stop him. So now I'm going to hit him with like 5 units and see what happens. Part of him is in the water. So yeah, that's exactly what we want. 5 units hitting one of his, tearing it up. His Cav comes back in for another go. So he comes in, he was in the 400 range. Would love to get some shots on him. He's small enough I could probably melee him, and if I had a detached skirmisher there, I think I would jump into melee with him. 2 units on 1, I would kill him. So where I had the 24-pound howitzer there seemed to be some kind of a problem with visibility. Yeah, and I want to get him into a place where he's not taking pass-through damage. Now, over on my far right, this is kind of interesting. Turns out that when I move my detached skirmishers just a little bit forward, that's going to bait him into a charge. The only reason his infantry unit on the road isn't charging is because he doesn't see me. As soon as he sees me, he's going to charge, and that's exactly what I want him to do. So, yeah, he seems to be shifting to the right, so I'm having an infantry unit shift to the right. I need a detached skirmisher somewhere in my position to be able to see his artillery, and the 10-pound parrots are going to keep taking shots on that guy. But that is a very large artillery unit, so yeah, and it looks like my infantry, now that I see it in the video, my infantry is actually hidden. So I think he can see my artillery unit and he's firing at that. So yeah, very important to pay attention to who's hidden and who is not hidden. Yeah, now it looks like he's actually moving his artillery. Yeah, I decided to move my artillery up. This probably isn't terribly exciting, but I decided to move the artillery up. We're going to hold this line. I'm going to reinforce it. And it looks like that whole area to the north, there's not much up there. He's kind of hovering in the woods. That might give me an opportunity to come down on top of him. So, yeah. Who is he firing at? Oh, he's firing at my infantry line. So I'm going to detach skirmishers. Let him shoot at those. My detached skirmishers are going to shoot at him. The 10-pound parrot is doing okay. Not doing great, but doing okay. Just he has 2 batteries and they're both very large. So this is going to take a while. So I keep folding the skirmishers back into the units. Yeah, as soon as I notice I decide to send these guys out to try to tempt this guy into attacking, this is exactly what I want him to do. I want him to charge right into where I have those units placed. So, and this has worked out perfectly. 2 units charging. So yeah, we just gave him a chance to kind of recover. And now we're going to inflict losses on those guys. And this is going to work out. Okay, my 1 unit can't fire because my skirmisher's in the way, so we'll get him to fall back. The other guy goes around the flank. This is over, well, quicker than the telling of it. So, yeah, a couple of volleys. But we knocked him down. His cav took some more losses. He's in the 200s now. 1 or 2 more volleys, he's dead. So that's what we want, just like that. Keep chipping away at this guy. Now I've managed to get a couple of detached skirmishers in position to hit his artillery. So they're going to take some losses, but they're detached skirmishers. So it won't be that bad. And I'll get a couple shots on his artillery that, I wanted to morale shock him. We weren't able to get it that time. But I was able to see what he has up there, and it just isn't very much. So I think he's weak enough that I can go up there with a little more strength. And if I do this properly, I might be able to collapse his entire right flank. And so first thing we need to do is the detached skirmishers need to fold back into their parent units, get everybody ready if we're going to attack. Hopefully I can lure him in for, yeah, if at all possible, weaken him a little bit more, get him to charge at me. Yeah, he started in the mid, over 2,000, and now he's down to, his units look like they're down to 1,400. And they take a couple volleys and they rout. So yeah, his cav unit started pretty high. I don't think it was 1,000, but it was pretty high. And now it's about to die. Yeah, here he comes, charging into the water. And that should be it for him. And he's dead. So, yeah, we took him out, and I'm desperately trying to get these. I know there's an infantry and a skirmisher unit in the woods. Now he has somebody running over to his left, and that's good. It's just exhausting his units. So his line's looking not as intimidating as it once was. We have managed to really, really cut him down, and it's closing in on 1,600. So the clock will run out, and we'll be able to hit finish, but it's only 1,600. We have till 1930, and this is just going very well. We're going to keep, of course I want to get them all. I mean, I want to get them all. So his commander's there, and I really want to kill his commander. The only thing holding his line together is that commander, and I don't want them to rout and then form a really good line somewhere else, and then I have to fight them again like they're fresh units. So if I can kill his commander, that would be ideal. Yeah, my units seem ready to go. So detached skirmishers, we're going to see if we can't get up behind him. The guys on the right have pulled a lot of units over on my right. Anybody who comes out in the open is just going to take a lot of losses. I have plenty of force over there. I had originally intended those guys would have a 24-pound howitzer, but I ended up keeping both of my 24-pound howitzers on my left flank. But yeah, they're doing exactly what I want them to do, which is draw the enemy over there while we focus all our killing power over here. So yeah, at this point, I want to kill that commander and also rout his artillery. So one of his artillery is pretty in a position where I can hit it, and I should be able to get some good shots on his commander. Yeah, one of his artillery is already routed. I got one of my units started a little bit late, but yeah, we're in good shape. His unit has routed already. We've been hitting him with 24-pound howitzer. Now the trick is, let's see how much we can kill. See if we can kill his general and kill these 2 artillery units. And if we can accomplish all of that, his position is going to be really hopeless. Yeah, I really don't want that artillery to get away. And I also don't want to engage his infantry that's right in the woods right next to where we are either. So, yeah, that's going really well. A couple more volleys. Yes, we got his artillery. And while we were doing that, I had one of my units up too close in the water, and he took a volley, and we lost looks like we lost a colonel, I think. So, yeah, and that's because he wasn't in cover. He should have been in cover. So I think we killed the commander, and I think we're about to kill the artillery. Yeah, he's down. Yeah, he's gone. So we got him. Now I want those guys on my left to fall back on the north. Do not want to engage the enemy there. Just want to rout these guys that we're kind of surrounding here. Just want to rout them, degrade them, push them back. And keep moving up my 24-pound howitzers. Oh, and I had to get the 10-pound. I hit pause and gave my 10-pound parrots orders to move because they were too far back. They could only reach about to the flag, so I'm having them reposition. Because by the time my 10-pound parrot gets moved, the enemy is going to be up in the upper right-hand corner. That's my guess. So we need him to get a lot closer. So yeah, these units are now down to about 1,000 each, these enemy units. So we have degraded them. It's 16:45, we have 3 hours. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, all of his units are down to about 1,000. And my units are in great shape, just absolutely great shape. And yeah, if I roll my detached skirmishers back into my units, they have adequate size to easily wipe these guys out. So what I need to do now is get my 24-pound howitzers up. I don't want this to be an infantry battle. He doesn't have artillery, so take my time and just pound him to death, and we'll get him. And with his officers gone, he won't be able to recover very well. Yeah, these units are going to exchange a few shots with each one of these enemy units, and they're going to rout. They just can't stand there and take these hits. And my goal is just to push them back into that open area between the two woods, and I suspect that then a lot of his units will try to advance on my position into the open. So we'll be able to harvest kills very easily. My guys will be in cover, he'll be in the open. I just want to make sure that my artillery is as close as possible as we do this. So yeah, from this point it's pretty terrible. His one unit that's like on the right side is going to get hit from several different sides. He's going to rout. That's going to collapse his whole position, kind of on the right side, and yeah. Then in a minute, his position on his left side of the map is going to collapse, and then I'm going to be able to hit all of his units kind of in the flank as they try to resist. They're going to face south, and my units in the north are just going to move forward and just start hitting him in the flank. Yeah, wherever he goes, he's going to take pretty much flank shots, and he's going to take canister. And he has no artillery. He's going to have an exposed flank no matter what he does. Now a lot of his units are in the open because we've pushed him out of the woods. And yeah, right here is perfect. He's in the open, and he's just going to take massive damage. The guys that kind of advanced in the north, they're kind of in the water and the open. So yeah, they're just going to rout. So I really sped this up because this is just rounding them up. For this, I'm just trying to keep my losses down. Try to keep him from... I don't think he's going to rout out of this corner. I think he's going to rout into this... I mean, I think he's going to just go into this corner and then be morale shocked and die. But I don't want him to squirt out of this position and go to the left and try to go to the other corner. So he doesn't seem to be trying to do that. He's just trying to fight, and he's taking fire from all directions. So that's not gonna work very well. My detached skirmishers are not going to take much damage in the woods. And yeah, the canister, one of my artillery units is right where he needs to be, and the other one is a little bit far back. So they both get about 800 kills for this little side battle. So yeah, at this point, I want to be actually extra cautious so I don't take any losses. I should be able to harvest all these kills with almost no casualties if I'm cautious. So I don't want to go charging in there and take a whole bunch of unnecessary casualties. So I'm double checking to make sure men can fire, and the time is 1800, so I have an hour and a half, and that is more than enough time to easily kill all these guys. The question is when to charge, and I decide to charge when he has one unit left, and that's I should have charged when he had two, because his units are so battered that and so small that they just can't take any melee, particularly 2-on-1 melee, and just well then it's just I guess you have about, it seems like you have about a 20% chance of surrender and an 80% chance of shatter. So I wait to the last unit. I should have gone in with melee when he had two units probably. So yeah, I'm paying very close attention. I think he has one unit left. Send people in charging, but I also want supporting fire. And I think one of my detached skirmishers touches his infantry, and the guy shatters, and that's it. So yeah, there we are. After medicine, I lost 2269. He lost 16,000, almost 17,000. So yeah, 7 to 1. 1900 lost just over 100. 1700 lost over 100. My infield unit lost 400 but killed 1500, and so on. A lot of 1300 and 1200s with about 100 casualties. So yeah, the 24-pound howitzers killed about 800 each, I think, and 10-pound Parrot did better than I thought he would do. Got some promotions, got another 2-star. Harper's Ferries, almost 1900 Harper's Ferries, some 10-pound Parrots. So yeah, Cedar Mountain. I don't know what the school solution is, but that one works for me. So my units are going to have about 1200 in the next battle, so my first corps is looking very good. So he gets a bunch of, looks like raw recruits. He goes 51 to 56, 39 to 44, and yeah, so surprisingly low training and armory. I'm going to go into, I'm going to have to go into Army organization. So, because I want to get 4 corps going into Second Bull Run. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next battle.